Today I want to share how I believe you can go into the right direction, steer into the right direction when you're really young, and figure out shit on your own and grow aggressively. I have a list of things here that I've done over the past 3 years to really grow mentally and physically and in my occupation. This comes from a place of just wanting to share and not knowing like these were the elements that I needed to focus on. A big part of this, as you're gonna see, it's mental, occupational, and I think it all starts with the mind. And then, of course, we live in a society, so to be functioning in a society is very important. So the occupation is a big part of our daily life, and young males should be focusing very much on being useful, taking responsibility. And then the physical, of course, you have to have that column, that rock solid physique, and to be able to handle the stress, to be able to persevere, and so on. So you can see here on the mental side, the first couple of things that are mentioned are very interesting. So the first thing that I've done is getting out of my house as quickly as possible. This is when I dropped out of college. So this was an experience where I knew I either had to pursue education because basically my mom and the partner of my mom were investing in my education. So I decided to take a responsibility and say, this debt, I'm gonna pay it off. I currently paid it off, but I dropped out of college. So I got out of my home house, but I took 100% responsibility for it. So I started providing for myself. When I was 19, dropped out of college, went to work basically as a waiter, and then switched to doing mostly marketing. And then, of course, what is really cliche but has been such a important point for me is believing in your project. So taking consistent action with them. Of course, this is just another cliche, which is reading great books. But here it's about having mentors, finding people that inspire you, reading good books that give you frameworks to face life. But I had a best friend where Alessandro that basically was believing in my same ideas. So we dropped out of college together and basically went to work with this idea. So we got into this apartment, still this apartment that we have today together, and we believed in each other so much to the point where we were like, just let's turn off the world and just go with this. So this is a very good point. I would say this is very, very important. And then occupationally, we started, of course, you have to provide resources for yourself, right? You need to find them. And so we figured very early, we were 16 years old, we like 3 years before we dropped out, that we were selling websites to local businesses. We figured out how to do marketing for companies generally, local companies, lead generation and stuff like that. So then we started pitching strangers, and we use our eloquence to convince them of our abilities. So this is something very, very important. You need to develop this fairly early, because if you're not the one that has a good enough eloquence and that can convince strangers to believe in what you're proposing, what your abilities, nobody will. Maybe some people will open the doors for you, but definitely it needs to come from you. And then this has been very difficult for me to understand, because a lot of our generation expects either to be blessed with a amazing life without doing anything, and on the other side you have people that as soon as they start to work or to have an occupation, they want to get highly paid and to build a huge business and shit like that. So I don't know, it just is unrealistic on both sides. And so what I started with is getting paid to learn so I can become useful. So the point here, you're completely useless. So let me just show you here. I just moved out with my best friend Alessandro. This is 3 years ago. We basically just dropped our stuff here. We had some books with us, no knowledge whatsoever. Here was trying to look like I was doing something. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. These were just habits paper. This was a fun period because I knew I was just useless. I didn't know any skills. I didn't know how to help companies. I didn't know how to be useful. I knew how to build websites, but I didn't know I didn't know much, and I was also weak in my physique just after the waiter seasoning when I worked a lot. And so I started getting paid to learn and just calling strangers. So I took action, and I started getting learnings from the customers, and then working for agencies and doing a bunch of gigs all around the place to get some money to survive, because we were surviving in the first couple of months. But then gradually this grew. So we gave our customers results and we created real relationships. This is where it's very, very important. You don't want to work with people that you don't like, in the sense that don't it's not about not pushing you to be better, not requiring good results. It's about people that just put you down, don't believe in your dreams. And I don't believe in the fluffy stuff. You need to have people around you that that believe in your dreams, and everything is beautiful. It's not like that. It's just that there are people who understand that you're grounded in a you don't have a lot of experience, but they believe in your abilities and your consistency, especially if you prove it, if you have the eloquence to show them that you can do it, to then believe in you and give you the resources and open up doors. So that was the period of the agency, that was the period of doing the waiter, that was the period of doing some gigs. And I started gradually getting those opportunities because of my eloquence and my proper, real commitment to doing good actions, to being helpful, to being useful, and to build strong relationships. So this is where the ramp goes up. You are the product, especially at the start. Your energy and your way of being and your just overall energy is your product. You need to use that eloquence to get customers and give those customer results, build the relationships, and then the snowball will roll. And then here it's of course increase the prices, but as you become more useful, you can gather more resources from and require those companies to pay you more, and so on. So like it gets to a snowball effect. This was very hard and tough to understand, but I think I can go a bit deeper. This is just my experience. And on the physical side, what I figured was very, very important for me was training without any limit. So I started training 4 or 5 times per week, and then I started running, and then I started doing a bunch of shit in the gym with my Alessandro, with my best friend. I slept really well, and I focused on the quality of my inputs. So about this, I've been kind of a freak of biohacking. We call it biohacking, but it's natural living. So figuring out good nutrients for your body, figuring out the right inputs, and then sleeping well, training really hard, and lifting weights, becoming leaner, and so on. But it has been such a pillar for me, especially for mental health, to be in a good body, to be in a good shape, to develop it over the years, because it's taken quite a while, 3 years. I don't think I am in the best shape yet, but I am in the best shape of my life compared to myself previously, but I'm not in my best shape overall. Of course, I'm just 22, still a long way to go. But what I'm saying here is that a lot of problems that we think we can fix mentally are just physical issues. And so if you're not confident, start training in the gym, become stronger, become more solid, like just as a male. You start sleeping really well. This will enable you to manage emotions a bit better. Eat well, so figure out biological, find biological sources and get nutrient dense foods. And so fix your fucking diet. So these were the things that the 80-20 of what I've done for the past 2 to 3 years. I've really doubled down on those. So I read so many books. I found great mentors and people that I built a relationship with during my career. I basically use eloquence in any type of opportunity to convince people, to sell people on my abilities. I train really hard for the past couple of years now. I'm also integrating running. I'm also integrating mobility training and so on, and also going on a bike to then do triathlon or wherever. I slept really well, tracked my sleep with Whoop for quite a while. I'm just taking a break for now, but I've because of the opposite effect, which is you stress too much about sleep scores. But I slept really well, 8 hours per night, 7 hours and 30 per average on like the last couple of years. So I've done quite the work in terms of volume to improve my mental, occupational, and physical areas of life. And I would suggest you to do this. It's very, very important that you understand that the faster you figure out the right inputs that you need to put daily, the better the outcomes will be without you even realizing. And now I'm starting to basically eat the fruits of those efforts, in the sense that I have a good physical condition. I feel great energy. I have the right people around me. I love working with my clients. I tend to have very good relationships with my friends and to be transparent, and I have a very solid close social circle. So it is rewarding. So I suggest you to start thinking about life in this way. But yeah, let me know what you think about these kind of let's say three areas, foundational areas of human life. I think they're quite interesting, and they apply very much to the By-Humans method. So I hope this was useful in any way, and but yeah, I'll probably go a bit deeper and show more of the progress over the years. Yeah, cheers.